No,
No.
there's,
No.
yeah.
There's usually, yeah, there's been two.
Yeah.
We
just haven't filled.
In the last couple of years. We haven't had.
Yeah.
For
That's been
a year.
I know I'm slowing down.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. Good evening. I would like to call the January 8th, 2024 meeting of the Town of Cicero Zoning Board of Appeals to order. Ms. Robeson, please call the roll.
Here. 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 Here.
Here. Please take note of the fire exits located in the front and the rear of this room. At this time, please silence all cell phones and pagers. Please note that tonight's meeting is being streamed on YouTube and is also being recorded. Sorry, I'm doing our backup audio recording that I forgot to do. At this time, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I would like to open our organizational meeting. We are combining this meeting with our regular meeting as a separate meeting is not warranted. First point of order is appointment of Zoning Board of Appeals clerk for 2024. I'd like to make a motion that we reappoint Ms. Marie Robeson, assuming she wants to continue with us, to the position of Zoning Board of Appeals clerk. Ms. Robeson has been working with us for the past 2 years, has done a great job at recording and publishing our minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And if you were, I should probably call the roll on this one. Mr. Rabia?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Mays?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Daniel?
Yes to the motion.
I know I'm going out of order. Mr. Beck?
Yes to the motion.
And yes to the motion from me. Congratulations. Appointment of Zoning Board of Appeals attorney for 2024. I would like to make a motion that we appoint Terry J. Kerwin Jr. of Kerwin Law Firm, PC, to the position of Zoning Board of Appeals attorney for 2024. Mr. Kerwin has been working with our board almost as long as I have been a member and has been a valuable advisor to us. Do I have a second?
Second.
When you're ready, please call the roll. Yeah, if you guys want to fight over. Mr. Pick.
Yes to the motion. Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion. Congratulations, Mr. Kerwin. Establishment of the 2024 schedule for Zoning Board of Appeals meetings. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the meeting dates as presented in tonight's agenda. Meeting dates are to be the first Monday of the month, with the following exceptions that were made to avoid scheduling conflicts. The first being Monday, January 8th, which is this meeting. And then the next one is Monday, September 9th. All meetings will commence at 6 p.m. Meetings may be canceled if there are no agenda items. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Mr. Mays?
Yes to the motion. Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion. Continuing education requirements for 2023 and 2024. Please remember that as board members, we are required to have 4 continuing education hours per year. Please make sure you document your hours for 2023 and provide them to both myself and our town clerk, Tracy Kosselman, by the end of January. Please note that I have the discretion to determine what constitutes training, so please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. Also remember that you are entitled to 2 hours of training time for participating in our December training session. For 2024, please be on the lookout for notices regarding any training offered through the town. If the board has a month of no applications, we may elect to hold a live training session. And last but not least, I want to recognize our new ad hoc. Please welcome to the board Christian Suarez. Suarez was appointed last week by the town board. Welcome aboard.
Welcome. Welcome.
There are no other items. I'm going to close our organizational meeting. Meeting is now closed. Has everyone read the minutes of the November 13th, 2023 meeting? Okay, any corrections?
No.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the November 13th, 2023 meeting minutes.
do I have a second?
Second.
By Mr. Bick. Please call the roll.
Yes to the motion.
Was absent, abstain.
Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion. Cicero Town Board acknowledges the importance of full public participation at all public meetings, and therefore we urge all who wish to address those in attendance to please come to the microphone located in the front of the room. At this time, I will make a motion that all actions taken tonight are type 2 actions and have a negative impact that has no impact on the environment unless otherwise indicated. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Mr. Mays. Mr. Robison, please call the roll.
Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion.
Yes to the motion. We have proof that all items on tonight's agenda have been advertised as directed by law. I will briefly review the process for tonight's meeting for the benefit of those present that have never been before the Zoning Board of Appeals. Each applicant will have an opportunity to describe their project. The board will then ask questions about that project. I will then open a public hearing where people will be able to speak for or against the proposed variance. The applicant will then be given the opportunity to respond to the public input and provide additional information. Board members will be allowed to ask follow-on questions. The board will also openly discuss amongst ourselves the 5 factors that contribute to the final decision. Please note that this board does not have a pre-agenda meeting, so there is no prior discussion of cases outside of this meeting. Then finally, a motion will be made either approving or denying the requested variance, seconded and voted upon. So our first and only case tonight is an application for a property on 9150 Beach Road. The owner is Timothy Brand. Did I get that right? Yes, if you would please come up and address the board.
Okay, so about a year ago, I bought this property at auction and it was worse than I ever imagined, obviously. So we took it pretty much down to the existing footer and rebuilt it. Or are rebuilding it. And my request for variance is on the lot coverage. We built on the same footprint and the back deck, which was existing. That's the area that I want to cover with a roof and make it 2-story, a covered balcony, basically. And we were gonna do this out of attic trusses so that it'd actually be more privacy from the neighbors. You wouldn't really be overlooking their yard because you'd have a roof line there. I think there should be some pictures in there of like the 3D version of it.
Yep.
So I think it ends up being about 32% roof coverage or lot coverage.
Sir, when you say back deck, do you mean lakeside?
Lakeside,
Lakeside,
yeah.
okay.
Will actually be a little bit smaller than what the previous deck was. This previous deck was like 12'9" or closer to 13. This will be 12 foot.
You effectively built right at where the old deck was. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Steve, what accounts for the size variance regarding the deck? If it's being built on the same footprint?
It is, but the lot coverage is increasing because our definition of lot coverage includes any portion of the building under a roof. So the roof is
Got
gonna be
it.
extended, increasing the lot coverage.
Okay, That's what I was curious about.
So it's like a balcony off a master bedroom.
Yeah,
Looking
and
at
it's
plan
built out of attic trusses, but it will be
Yep.
open air, but the sides will be kind of private from the neighbors, so you're not staring over their property. So it's basically was the purpose of the
I was
room.
gonna say that the purpose of the bringing out the roof to
Right.
give more privacy.
Are you doing anything on the sides of the first floor deck? Or are you just gonna leave it open?
I probably wanna make those a little bit private too. I haven't gotten that far, but yeah,
So not what you're showing here, you're just showing railings here.
right.
A considerable investment in this property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little more than ripping down the drywall and replacing it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
You're not thinking about making this deck a three seasons room, are you?
No,
And the original structure that was here was one story, correct?
correct. And all the lots on, I mean, you probably know, all the lots on the Night Lake inherently are. I think this one's 50 by 150. They're small.
Non-conforming.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else, Chuck.
Anybody have other questions?
Nope.
Okay. So at this time, I will open the public hearing. Would anyone speak for this? Would anyone speak against this? Steve, did you receive any kind of correspondence on this at all?
None at all.
Okay. At this time, I will close the public hearing. Does the board have any other questions? Okay, if not, does someone want to take the 5 factors? Make a motion?
I'll do it.
All right, very good.
All right, so in reviewing the 5 factors, is the requested variance substantial? Right now, the coverage is about 27% of the lot, 2,050 square feet. Extending this out will, by definition, bring the coverage up to 32%. To me, that's not a substantial increase. It's only a 5% increase over what's there. So I would say no, it's not substantial.
I agree.
Agree. I agree.
I disagree mostly on the grounds that the lot is undersized to begin with, and this is, the primary nonconformity, but that is my current opinion.
Will an undesirable change be produced in the character of the neighborhood? Or will granting the area variance create a detriment to nearby properties? I would say no, it does not. And by adding the roof, it actually increases privacy to that second level deck.
I agree.
Agree. I agree.
Agreed.
Can the benefit sought be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than a variance? I guess I would say yes, the deck could still be built without the roof, but then it loses that privacy aspect.
I agree.
Agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Will the variance have an adverse effect on the physical or environmental conditions? I would say no.
I mean, we didn't talk about it, but we gotta make sure you're managing your rainwater, right? I mean, I would think that we've got to figure out where that water is gonna go that's gonna come off the roof. So I don't know that there's gonna be a problem, because I think Steve in the zoning office will handle those requirements, but so I guess I'll say no, but we've got to have something in there for, I think, based on how close he is to the side property lines, we got to figure out something. Or Steve will have to figure out something.
Agree.
I agree.
I agree.
And was the difficulty self-created? A yes doesn't preclude granting this variance. And I would say, yes, it is self-created. Just the fact that this is an additional step that the applicant wants to take to add the deck, by definition, makes it self-created.
Agree.
Agree.
I agree.
Agreed.
Okay, I haven't done this in a while, so you can coach me as I go here.
Mr. Chairman, just, excuse me, did we cover seeker before we make any motions?
Yes, we did at the
Okay, I'm
beginning.
sorry, did miss it.
Yeah, I mixed it in with some of the
Okay.
other stuff. Sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, then, so I would make a motion on behalf of Timothy Braun for the property at 9150 Beach Road. Cicero, 13029. Oh, it's on that page there, isn't it? That's a lot easier to read. Timothy Braun, 9050 Beach Road, for an area variance to allow the expansion of a non-conforming structure to construct 32.7 by 12 roof covered porch, increasing the lot coverage from 27% to 32%, where the maximum coverage allowed is 25%.
Can we, before I go for a second, can we discuss a potential condition that would prevent the enclosure also?
Okay.
We've done that in the past in situations like this.
Not like Three Seasons room.
Enclosure of the porch,
Of the
Total
enclosure.
to turn it in.
To an
Basically,
enclosed,
the idea of turning it into a three-season
Yeah,
room.
that's
Get rid
right.
of- Get rid of that.
As he mentioned, he's gonna enclose the sides.
Yes,
Just want to make sure we're not gonna have.
just leave the. Well, let's figure that out then. So it would be we'd have to leave one
yeah, the
face of it open.
the lake facing side. So,
Are you okay with that? If we
Yeah,
add that
and when I
condition?
say enclose the sides, I just meant with like cedar boards or something. It's not
Right,
walls.
okay. So under the condition that the space is not enclosed, leaving the lake facing side open.
Steve, are you good with that, or would you like more
Just,
clarity?
we're including both upper and lower decks in that condition.
Correct.
That's all. Thank you.
Upper and lower. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Mays. When you're ready, please call the roll.
Yes, to the motion.
Yes to the motion?
Yes to the motion?
Yes, to the motion.
Typically, I would vote no to this motion because we're expanding a nonconformity, which is the coverage. However, I think and you have to look at the spirit of our nonconformities, which is the town eventually wants these all to go away. But the applicant is building within the footprint of the existing structure. So to me, I'm going to vote yes to the motion because extending the roof over that really doesn't create much more of an impact. So that was a long-winded way to say yes. So congratulations.
All right, I appreciate it.
Carried.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. So our next meeting is scheduled for Monday, February 6th. Do we, 5th, okay, sorry,
That's okay.
I'm still in 2023. Do we have a case?
I believe we may,
Okay.
but I'm not sure yet.
One thing I wanted to note for the board that on December 13th, the town board unanimously approved an amendment to chapter 210. Establishes a new article 15 that addresses architectural design standards for key areas in Cicero. Steve, if you could get copies to everybody, I'd appreciate it, because I believe the intent of that is that the zoning board is going to be charged with approving any variances to that.
That's correct. And I did distribute some last week. I apologize if I haven't gotten it to you guys yet. We're still waiting for them to be effective when we receive back confirmation of filing with the Secretary of State.
Has it
But
been
I'll
published yet?
distribute them.
Is it published in E-code yet or no?
We were just checking in with that last week. I didn't check today. It wasn't as of Friday, but
I don't think I saw it in there
Okay.
today when I looked.
okay.
But we'll get that to everybody.
I'll distribute them tomorrow.
Thank
Okay.
you. And we may have a session to talk about that, because we will be charged with approving any variances before they go before the planning board for a site plan, which is, it's actually going to be pretty exciting for us, I think.
Steve, any heads up on what those key areas are? Just out of curiosity?
So there's an overlay map that'll show parts of the town where the design standards are applicable to.
Steve, can I share that map that I have?
Sure.
Is it safe to do
Sure.
that? Okay.
Sure.
I'll share that, but not the code itself.
When I,
'cause it
when I
has
send it to you,
edits.
I'll have the map, I'll include the map.
Okay.
Because
Forget
in
it.
fact, just on Friday, I had the map changed from draft to
Okay.
the date of acceptance and approval.
All right. So what he said, I'm not sending you anything.
Okay. Who created the standard?
It was our consultant that's doing the comprehensive plan, along with
Okay, who's the consultant?
Bergman, and then they're called Colliers, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, they've got bought out. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And then a couple people did have input into that too, so it was not created in a vacuum. Is there any other business before the board? There being no other business, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All right, by Mr. Bick, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Daniel, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
The ayes have it, meeting adjourned.